Hello everyone, I am Max Whiting. I am a third year physical therapy student at Regis University, and I am here to talk about that persistent pain that has been bugging you for so long. Okay, so I think we should start out with, what is pain? Well, pain is defined as an unpleasant sensory and emotional experience associated with actual or potential tissue damage, or described as such. And that's the important part, is that it could be potential tissue damage. So this means that pain does not always mean there's damage, and vice versa. We can have tissue damage without any pain. But how does that make any sense? I remember always growing up being taught that if I have pain, I'm hurt, I need to go to the doctor. Well, the funny thing is, we have this crazy thing called the nervous system, right? Well, our nervous system is a continuous system that spreads throughout our body and goes straight to our brain, right? So it's connecting everything in our body to our brain. Think of the nervous system as a series of alarms warning us of danger, but not necessarily pain. Our nerves are constantly buzzing and looking to be excited, okay? And so when they reach a certain point of excitement, they just start sending all these messages up to our brain. And for the sake of this presentation, we're going to call them danger messages, okay? And not pain messages, danger messages. Well, they send these messages to our control center, which is, you got it, our big old brain. Well, the brain begins to communicate within itself with other centers throughout the brain, and it uses this to create a response to these messages, which then creates a pain map, okay? So we now know that there is not a specific area in the brain for pain, but rather a map that is created from the communication between the different centers throughout, okay? This is how we create a response to our danger messages, and it's a response of pain. So as our pain persists, our nerves or alarm systems become constantly aware. The control center now remembers the message and keeps our alarm system pretty much on call, okay? This makes our nerves more sensitive to our environment. But what does that sensitivity mean? It means that the alarms may sound to even non-threatening stimuli in our life, such as a change in temperature, or some stress that you're feeling at work, or that anxiety of the big test that's coming up, a certain movement that's starting to bother you now, or just pressure of someone just touching you. Okay, this is normal. Our nerves, our alarm system is just super hyper aware. Okay, what does this mean for our control system though? Well, as a control system begins to get bombarded with all these extra messages from these normal stimuli, because our nerves aren't really sure if it's dangerous or not, all right? It becomes harder to sift through what messages are actually dangerous and what messages are just normal stimuli. As that happens, you guys can think about when you're at work or from school and you start to, clutter up your desk. You're not sure which document is which document, what you need and what you don't need. And same thing kind of happens in our brain. The good news is we can change these maps, all right? As we begin to understand pain more and realize that these normal stimuli are not causing actual tissue damage, and therefore our brain can better start to interpret that information, okay? As that happens, we better understand that hurt does not always equal harm. The messages will start to run from center to center, and our brain can process these messages more efficiently, and it will start to create a more appropriate response. Though right away we can't fix that map, okay? However, we can start to rebuild that map, all right? And as we do that, we can start to interpret our messages a lot better, and we start to kind of calm down that nerve sensitivity that we were feeling. As we accumulate these different experiences, we can begin to better define our map and realize that hurt does not always equal harm. And so there's our take-home message. Just want to say thank you for listening, and I hope this helps